Hello. Did you miss me? I missed you guys, actually. I feel a little bit awkward. Almost. I've been pretty much, in an audio sense, mute for the past 8 months? It hasn't been 8 months. I don't know what I'm saying. Or has it been 8 months? Almost 8 months, maybe. 7. I don't keep up. But, hi, you're hearing my voice again. And are you happy about that? I don't know. I don't know if you are or if you aren't. But if you are, I'm glad. If you're not, I would be a little bit curious about why you clicked on this. Anyway, so here's a little update on me, on my life. I figured you might enjoy having this update personally instead of through text. So, a couple of months ago, when I announced my departure from YouTube, I meant it. I still kind of mean it. Dealing with YouTube is a different beast. I think there's this pressure to make it on YouTube. I think there's this pressure to perform. And yes, while it is a performance of sorts, I originally started YouTube to just create. I love to write. I also love music, and I thought maybe if I merge the two into these, I don't want to say like audio masterpieces because that sounds like I'm being full of myself, but in my head, I thought it would be nice to mix together a nice story, some sound effects, some of my favorite music, or some music that I find to be very moving, put them together and give people something to listen to. And then it became something else, both from YouTube's side and from just, I think, the general expectation once people find out that you have a YouTube channel. It's meant to be this job, and it's meant to be this thing that you do for clout or for fame, or you want to be everyone's favorite YouTuber. While I think that that is okay for some people, I think it's very draining, and I think it's very soul emptying in a way. There was a TikTok I was watching, and it was like, people don't create just to create anymore. And I felt the same. I wasn't creating to create anymore. And I actually got very nervous that, okay, if I keep this pace of trying to put out an audio like every other weekend or every weekend, and I have to have a series, and I have to have a calendar, and I have to have a schedule, I'm going to run out of ideas. Now, I don't think that that's actually true. I think that was just my anxious mind going. But I did get concerned. I was like, man, maybe I might run out of ideas. How many times can you tell the story of two friends being friends? But I think it was nice for me to take a couple of months off and reevaluate what it is that I want to be doing. Also, at that time, a job opportunity came up, a career opportunity, and I didn't want to let it go, and I wanted to see it through. I owed it to myself to try to figure out, hey, is this the direction that you want to take your life in? And so I did. I tried it out. I tried it out to see how I felt. And I enjoyed it, but I didn't enjoy it also, if that makes sense. I think I enjoyed the thought of it, but in practice, I realized that it just wasn't for me. And so I had always kept writing on the back burner, as you guys already saw. I kind of kept writing, and then I also wanted to actually finish the series for you guys. And I still haven't finished it. Please don't come at me. But it will be done. But I realized I was just putting this pressure on myself that no one else had put upon me. And it wasn't like you guys were being like, hey, where's our story? Where's our story? And so I think I was putting this unneeded pressure on myself. And I think that stunted my creativity. I think it made me really not enjoy doing what I was doing. And so that plus trying something new, I said I have to stop the YouTube. So I just decided to leave that business opportunity. It wasn't working out for me. I said, okay, let's pivot one more time. And I said, okay, maybe do I want to do YouTube again? And I think the answer is both yes and no. I would like to approach YouTube again, but I would like to do it in a different way. And that's what I plan to do. I don't want to put so much pressure on myself for uploading schedules, for, okay, I always need to have a tale to tell. I just like talking to you guys, and I like hearing your feedback and creating a community where we talk about friendship, where we talk about stories, where we talk about things. And to the people in my Discord server, you guys keeping the Discord alive actually kind of brought me back. And I was like, man, these people are still they're kind of like loitering. It was like digital loitering. You guys were hanging around and they're like, we're still here. We're still doing stuff. And it made me feel kind of bad. And I realized like, hey, you don't need to create for everyone, because then you get into strategy and you get into, okay, I need to figure out what trends are this, and I need to jump on this trend, and I need to keep up with the times, and I need to figure out how to reach a wider audience. And then you start studying analytics, and you start looking at videos and blog articles about how to reach a wider audience and how to make blank number of figures on YouTube. And man, it just became overwhelming. And I said, this is not what creation and creativity is supposed to be about. And so I had to just drop it for a second. And I said, it's not that I may never come back, but for right now, it's just not for me. And last year I went through some health problems. I had a little hiatus, went through some health problems. I'm all better now. I am nice and healthy now, so don't worry about that. But yeah, 2024 was quite the year. 2025 is feeling a lot better. It's feeling a lot fresher. And so I feel a little bit more willing to be on the mic again. And I hope that you guys kind of accept me back into your lives a little bit. I think I'm going to try some new things. And I would love your help if you guys have any ideas. I know not all of you do like content creation, but I know some of you have. But some things that I have kind of pledged to myself. so I don't fall into some of the same creative traps that I am prone to is one, if I make a story, it's going to be the full story. So whether it's a one shot or if it's a multi-part series, I have to have it finished before I release it to you guys. Because then it becomes unfair that you guys are waiting and waiting and waiting, months for inspiration to strike me, for me to pen the next part of a series. Because I can have the ending in sight, but for me, sometimes it's just very hard to sit down and actually write it down, Life is busy. I think life is busy for all of us. And so I'm sure that other people understand where I'm coming from, that sometimes your creative muscle just isn't working as hard. So I'm trying this in a new way where I get my creative muscle going, but I also hold it accountable so that people can feel satisfied. I think both the listener and I feel satisfied when the story is told to its completeness. And so I'm making that pledge to myself, making that pledge to you guys. And that is what it is. I also don't think that I am going to do like weird schedules. So, if I feel like I want to post, you're going to see a post. Maybe it goes for like 2 weeks without a post. I don't know. And I know that may be less than ideal for some people who are like, oh, I want to listen to you every week at a certain time. And I'm sorry that I just can't provide that. However, I did hear that people sometimes go back and listen to my old audios, and that's nice and that's beautiful. And I would encourage you to continue to do that if you're missing it. Also, I hope that you are a member of my Patreon. If you're not, I would suggest that you do it. And the reason why is that YouTube and their copyright laws are pretty strict. And there are just different things that I want to try, especially in relation to my storytelling and using music and all these other things. And so to kind of circumvent that just a little bit, there will be things posted on my Patreon, and they'll be free, but it's just a little bit easier with Patreon. YouTube is a little bit, they can be a little bit of, how do I put this? YouTube likes to shake down its creators. And the reason I know is because not just only my YouTube, but the career opportunity that I had was actually working for a larger YouTuber doing editing. I'm an editor and I do like social media management and stuff like that. And so the larger creator even had trouble and they started to move to a different platform. And so just seeing the ins and outs, it's just, YouTube is not necessarily, it's a good marketing tool, but it's not a good, I don't want to say money making, because I'm not necessarily in this for the money, but they are. And so because YouTube is in the business of money, if you are costing them money, even if you're just having fun and creating, they want you to pay, or they want you to be silenced almost in a way. So yeah, sign up for the Patreon. There will be goodies for both free and paid tier. And yeah, I hope that you guys are okay with me kind of poking my head back into your lives. And we'll just see how this next chapter unfurls. And I have some really cool ideas coming up. I already have some things written in the background that I've been eager to share. And I was nervous sitting down talking to you guys, but I think by the end of this, I don't feel as nervous anymore. So I hope to see you guys again. If you haven't joined the Discord, join the Patreon, and I will see you soon.